Before we start our podcast today, we would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting,
the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay our respects to their elders past and present and emerging.
It was my underarms I'm smelling, and I won't describe anymore. But I just think it's just a comfortable place that most all of us go to with Blaine.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Kevin, and this is an Inward Journey, and I'm here with Janine.
Hi, I'm Janine, and we're going to be chatting together about all things relationships.
That's great, Janine. I absolutely know nothing about relationships. I know less about relationships than I did when I first met you, which is perfect, because that means I'm learning something.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that you know nothing about relationships.
Well, not nothing, but it feels like I'm a child learning to walk.
I think it is very much a journey, isn't it? And I think that it takes a lifetime to really know who you are. So then I think, well, if it takes a lifetime for me to know who I am and for us all to learn about ourselves, then it's also has the same impact in terms of taking a lifetime to understand others, if you choose.
I'm not so sure that I want to understand others. I want to understand me, which is, at the moment, that's what I meant earlier. I feel like I totally don't understand me at all. I don't understand what I'm about, and I guess that's some of the things I'm going through. It's an on-purpose thing, like just letting everything go and see where I am and who I am and what bothers me. And what I was going to say is that what I have learned is that relationships for me are about an inward journey. It's about getting to know myself.
Yeah. That's where our title came from. It came from you saying an inward journey, and I went, yes, that really fits. And my business is called Gear Change, and I'm all about changing patterns, and it's bloody hard to change some patterns, and often hard to change many patterns, and they can't change without compassion.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the music, although we haven't actually picked it yet, so I've got no idea what it was. I'm sure it'll be really good. So
It will be.
Yeah. So whilst there was a pause there, Janine and I were talking about a number of things, but I was struggling with this program that we're using, trying to get it to hook up to some Bluetooth things, and it wouldn't. And Janine's looking at other things, and I'm trying this, and I suddenly went, I know what it is. It doesn't like having Bluetooth turned on while we're doing this. I remember now. And Janine said, yeah, I love the way you did that you actually picked up on your relationship with the computer. And I'll get Janine to say something about that.
You actually said, it's the program, it's not me.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think it's that discerning part that I don't care what we're in relationship to, but it's the discerning part that we need in all of us that goes, what part is me and what part is the other? Because why I would say that's really significant, Kevin, in any of our relationships, because the bulk of people will go, this is shit, it's all shit, I'm not doing it, it's not working. So they'll do that and they'll say the program's useless or no good, and they'll write it off. Or they'll go, I'm useless, I'm shit, I can't do anything, it's not working for me, I'll never be able to work it, and they end it that way. So what I find is a lot of relationships end that don't necessarily need to, or they certainly don't end with insight. I mean, you can get to a point where some of us will, I don't have the brain for some things. I don't have your brain in terms of computers, But I do have a brain that works differently, and there's some things I'll go, nah, that's not for me. I'm not sharp in this area. I'm sharp in these areas. And I'm no longer going to say that I'm an idiot. I don't say those things, and I don't like to hear that from other people because that's just a cruel thing that, you know, that we can tell ourselves. That's not kind.
It's like those things work in harmony. Like whenever I'm pointing at someone and going, it's their fault because they didn't do this or they didn't do, or it's that organisation or it's that building or it's that telegraph pole that got in front of my car when I was driving down the road. Silly example, but you know, it's doing all of those things. That's not a silly example. The telegraph pole didn't get in my way. You know, I for some reason or another wasn't paying attention. I hit it. So it's about accepting responsibility for what's going on with me. And so it wasn't a silly example actually. So yeah, but so when I'm blaming someone else in particular or a group of people, doesn't really matter whether I'm right or wrong. It doesn't exist, it seems to me. It's about being able to look inward and see what's going on with me. Why is there a need for me to be blaming? Why is, you know, that anger and that shame or sadness or whatever it is or whatever combination? Why am I doing that? How about I don't have this reaction and I just sit with that for a while and see where that takes me and maybe talk to somebody else. Maybe even talk to a therapist.
Maybe there's an idea.
Who knows? That could help.
And blame is such a human response. Like, we can all blame. And I often tell this story about, I don't know if you remember this one, many years ago I've got many stories, but I was out putting the clothes on the line and one of my children back then hadn't put the clothes on the line that they'd agreed that they would, and they'd stayed wet overnight. And as I was putting them on the line, I'm going, these smell. That kid. They've done it again to me, and these clothes smell. But as I kept putting the clothes on the line, and I hadn't realised, and the more I'm putting them on, I'm going, oh my goodness, it's not the clothes. It was me who smelt. I'd done a workout. It was my underarms I'm smelling, and I won't describe any more. But I just think it's just a comfortable place that most all of us go to with blame.
Yeah.
But the other thing around blame is all it does is it actually gets you worked up, and it actually encourages you to become more aggressive, more angry, and usually aggressive either inward or outward to others, because they're less things I can control.
Yeah.
And the reality is, the only thing I can control in life is me. I can do my best with that, but I can't control anything else or anybody else.
So yeah, less in touch with me, less in with what's going on, less in touch with what I'm feeling, so that I can relate to the anger stuff. I guess a lot of men can. And I used it for a long, long time, and it covered up fear, terror, but it also, you know, more recently covered up a lot of sadness. So I guess, you know, the anger covered up a lot of grief about all sorts of things. And so, you know, being able to be angry with myself or angry with someone or something else, or any combination of those, meant that I didn't have to look and feel about what was really going on. And that's still a pull today, you know, it's still easy to wake up and go, oh, you know, why is my life like this? It must be the cleaner's fault, she's late. Or, you know, it's the cleaner's fault because she charged me too much money. And well, I don't know, you know, just ridiculous things. So
I think that's a trap we can all fall into. But the other thing I'm a great advocate for is listening. And for me, listening is...
listening to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find a word, multiplicity. Is that a word?
I don't even know what it
It
means.
sounds really good. It goes in
sounds
multiple
great.
areas.
Okay.
Out different ways.
We'll do what we normally do when we're not recording ourselves, which is, it's now a word.
It's now a word.
Yeah.
So it's multiplicity.
Look it up. It might be in the dictionary.
It's probably a word, and someone's going to go, oh, Janine, really? Really? That's not, that's not what it means. But it does now, for all you out there who are thinking this is, she's nuts. Get over yourselves, because this is now what the word means. Okay, it's because what it is in terms of listening is I'm listening to I'm listening to you, Kevin. I want to listen to your words, and are you settled and comfortable as we're chatting now? I want to listen to my body. Am I calm? Have I got a drink if I need it? Or, if my throat's sore or whatever. I'm going inward and listening to what I'm needing, as well as what's happening here between us and my surrounds. And I'm listening to, am I, feeling pressure that I've got to go and do a couple of things after? And if I'm doing that, is that impacting here now? So I want to be listening to those things and thinking about what can I control? How do I want to think and reason with myself around those things? I don't know if I've explained that well.
You did. I got it.
Okay.
I saw me in the last part of that, which is that I'll do, if I'm feeling uncomfortable, like if I was feeling really uncomfortable sitting here, then my head would be, I've got to do all of these other things, and I'll start doing them in my head, which means that I don't have to be here in my body.
Yeah.
So whilst my physical me is sitting here, really I'm not here. Whereas I'm comfortable at the moment, and I do have to do a couple of things, but they'll wait.
Yeah.
They'll get
And
done.
how often is it that you're talking to someone and then you're trying to get their attention, and you're just singing you're not listening.
Yeah. So what do you do?
You're not listening.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
I go, it seems that this might not be the best time to talk with you. You seem a bit distracted. Shall we have this chat later? So I might do that, or because if it's important for me to chat about this thing. If it's not, I might go, you seem a bit distracted. I'll catch you later, or I'll see you around, or all the best, or because I'm just going, I don't want to move on. I don't want to stay here and not move on, because I will feel like a victim. I'll be sitting here talking to you or talking to the person, and they're not listening, and so I just feel my words are empty or useless, and then that impacts my whole being again as I'm useless, I'm not worth it, oh my God, and then nobody wants to listen to me, I'm not worth listening to. You better be listening out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually they're not, because we're just recording it. So,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They might, eventually.
I hope so. That would be good. That would encourage us to do more.
See how it goes.
Yeah, please listen. So I was smiling because I'm thinking about what I do. I don't know I don't do it anymore, but if I thought somebody wasn't listening to me, I'd have only two responses. They weren't responses, they were reactions. One is I just walk off and leave them to it, which is not very good for or my inner relationship. Or two, say something like, why aren't you listening to me? Which is probably inviting some conflict, which I also try not to do anymore. But I was going to say that I think men are encouraged more to do that, in being brought up from little ones to bigger ones. And
sure.
To I don't know what the right term is either, but to be in conflict, which is not about standing up for myself, I've learned. It's not the same. I
might say the same thing about women, but differently, in that they can more so be inclined to think that they need to listen and therefore won't be listening, but will be standing there and still have the inner conflict as well. So I'll be a nice girl or a polite person or a caring person because this is what I've been trained to do. And so I'll stand there and I'll smile sweetly, or I'll sit there and I'll smile sweetly, though I'm bored, distracted, nervous, uncomfortable. And then the person will think I'm listening to them and I really don't want to be here, and I'll just stay and then I'll go. That doesn't work either. Yeah.
We're going to stop now. As soon as I can find the stop button.
So that's us. Welcome to the introduction of our podcast, An Inward Journey. We hope that you'll come and join us for next time. we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about, Kevin?
Oh, we'll talk about something. I have no idea. It'll be something. It'll be something to do with relationships.
All things relationships.
All things relationships, particularly pointing inward.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hopefully you've enjoyed our introduction to an inward journey, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again very soon.